What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizon for another live video. It's just me today. As you can hear, I'm a bit sick, so it's not going to be a long show. It's going to be a quick one. After watching probably the best game of the season, or one of the best season, most definitely, but one of the best games in a while. And coming, because we will talk about yesterday's game for a while. And going from yesterday's game to watching this game, City Real Madrid, is like it's something else. Let's be honest. The level, the difference in level is insane. Like, we are miles away from the level of City, Liverpool, even Real Madrid. You know, we're not even close. So we'll talk about that a bit. We'll talk about Allegri's comments, as you can see on the screen. We'll talk about the game, and we will talk a bit about the transfer news. Again, it's not going to be a long one. I'm on my own and I'm sick. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll go with yesterday's game. We won. I predicted a 1-1. Again, it was close, very close. We won the game. We shouldn't have won that game at all. Like, a point was already a stretch, in my opinion. But we got the win. The last couple of weeks, months basically, I've been saying, like, the way we play now, it's not going to change. We just need to get those wins from now until the end of the season to wrap up top 4. That's what we did yesterday. We got the win in a difficult game, in a game we shouldn't have won at all. Like, no chance. We got that win. And yeah, it's now 6 points. Again, if you won against Bologna, you could have wrapped it up this weekend against Venezia. We know what happened against Bologna. You need 6 points out of the out of the last 4 games. We have Venezia, Genoa, Lazio, Fiorentina. I mean, if you give it away now, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you took a massive step yesterday. Securing that top 4, it's the goal at the moment. It's a sad goal, again, especially if you watched the Real Madrid game a few minutes ago. It's sad that we are actually struggling to get top 4. Like, 4 games until the end of the season, and we are not even sure of making top 4. So, excuse me. But that's the reality. Like, we can complain about it. We should complain about it. Like, that's why at the start of the season, remember, like, a few months ago, a lot of people saying you were negative. Like, you guys are negative. I wasn't negative. I was just not lowering the standards. And I understand the moment we are in. I understand we need to rebuild. But when I see things like De Sciglio 25 and Cuadrado maybe 2 years and Danilo an extra year, like, that's ridiculous. That's why I always say it's not like, oh, they're good squad players. Look at what we just have watched. And again, and I'm not saying we're going to build a team like City, because that's impossible. Like, we don't have that money. It's that simple. So we cannot build a City team. But we also should not accept, how do you say, like, good performances. Oh, he can do a job. Like, these things, I will never accept. And I will say it when I think the club is going to make a wrong decision. And with the contract, with some of the contracts, they're making a wrong decision. But it is what it is. I will read out some chats now. Oops, let me see. I need to change. Hanine saying I got scared thinking what would be if it was Juve instead of Real Madrid. Oh, it would have been the 7-6 goals Real Madrid should have conceded today, because they were horrendous at the back. You know, like, Real Madrid is going to the Real Madrid is leaving that stadium, and I think they have a feeling of we won, because that's a feeling I would have if I'm a Real Madrid fan. That game should have been done today. It should have been 7-3 or something, 8-3, but it's only 4-3. If I'm a Real Madrid fan or player, I'm leaving that stadium with a good feeling, because it feels like a win. It shouldn't have been a win. If it was us, I agree with it. It would have been done. Mrs. Dax saying watching the City Madrid game made me realize how bad Juve is. Oh, we're bad, you know. Alexander saying 6 point means that Roma and Fiorentina win every game they have, and that's not gonna happen. Yeah, but we just need to look at ourselves now. Edgar saying you should not try to play attractive football like the Milan in 2000s or in Madrid, Los Galacticos. We should just get talented players and play effective football. Yeah, that effective football can be pretty football. So yeah, okay, the game. We won. Like I said, we shouldn't have won. We did what we had to do. Great goal from Dybala, who had an absolutely horrendous game. Good goal from Keane, who actually, again, when he came on, wasn't doing well, but he got the goal. I think nobody played well yesterday, besides Chesney. Zakaria, I liked him in the first half, but other than that, it was, again, a very, very dull performance, very standard performance of the season. But, again, a win is a win. Things after the game were kind of weird, what Allegri said, and you can see it on the screen. It's popping around. So two things happened. The first thing that came out was that Allegri got angry with Vlahovic because he was losing the ball when he should have kept that ball in the last few minutes, and he left 2 minutes before the end of the game. Allegri left into the locker room. You can see the videos on social media. I think everybody has seen him by now. When I don't know what he took a shot, Vlahovic, when he should just get that ball, and Allegri lost it. So DAZN reported Allegri went into the dressing room 2 minutes before the end of the match. According to DAZN, he was angry with his players, but in particularly with Vlahovic. Allegri, after having repeatedly asked him to calm down, got angry with him. Now, I'll say two things. Vlahovic needs to calm down because sometimes he wants to force things. He wants to do things too quick, too rash, without thinking behind, no thought process behind it. But the flip side is, I think at some point he's just getting frustrated because, again, people can put up his GA and compare it with Fiorentina and say non-penalties goals and all those things. It's the same, blah, blah, blah. The eye test tells you he's living off scraps, playing for us at the moment. It is what it is. Like, he's actually living off scraps. We create close to nothing. Like, look at the goals we score. Just look. It's not that we create chances. We don't create chances. It's corners. It's winning the ball back high up that pitch and like a quick transition if you can do it. Like, the goal from Keane was just Bonucci hoofing that ball long, Alexandro winning his duel, and Keane making it happen. Like, it's not that we play out from the back. I'm not saying you always need to play out from the back, but it's not that we create a lot of chances. So, yes, I agree that Vlahovic at times does things too quick. Like, he wants it too much instead of just calming down. But I think at this point, he's just frustrated with the fact that he's playing in a system, and not just him, even if it was Morata up top now, that's not really striker friendly, in my opinion. Excuse me. We don't create a lot of chances. I don't know if you have Chiesa and a real winger, things can change, but like, you're a coach, you're being paid close to 9 million euros with bonuses. It's up to you to tweak things, to put Vlahovic in the spotlight, because that's why you paid 80 million euros. Like, that's the reason why. And at the moment, I think you could have got a striker you paid 10 million euros and he could do the same thing Vlahovic is doing, because we're not playing for Vlahovic. I think that's clear. I think everybody can agree with that. It's not looking good. And I understand why he gets frustrated, Vlahovic, and tries to make things happen when he just should, like Allegri saying, keep that ball. But at the end of the day, Allegri can get mad all you want. At some point, players will get frustrated. And I think he is getting very frustrated. That's what I think. So he can be angry all you want. You need to change. You need to change, because you can see, just looking at Vlahovic's body language, you can see he's not completely, I don't want to say happy, because he is happy, I think. He's just frustrated at times that the ball is not coming his way. At times we take so many touches before we play that final pass. Like, it's ridiculous at times how many touches we take on the ball as a team before we actually play it forward. Yesterday, again, it was Danilo making things happen, and that's kind of sad. It is what it is, but he was a player saying, like, okay, we need to play that ball forward quickly. 1 touch, 2 max, and the ball needs to go. But yesterday, overall, it was just bad. Like, it was actually frustrating to watch once again. But It's 5 games with the Coppa final, and then it's over. Now, we will talk about the transfers in a few. But the Allegri, that wasn't even the wildest thing after the game. The wildest thing was what is now on the screen. He said the league was a last minute thing. Quadrado got injured yesterday. The last change was Miretti. We were trying to bring home a draw. It moved from a scream. He was saying basically we were playing for a point. That's what Allegri said. I was playing for a point, and then at the end of the games we won. So I'll take that. But I know we have a lot of injuries. I know that the squad is decimated even before the game. Like the league, all those players, I get it. But I think this is an all-time low when the coach of our club, Juve, like it's Juventus. It's not, with all due respect, Genoa or whatever. It's Juventus. When your coach comes out and say, we were playing for a point away to Sassuolo, 11 against 11, I think that's an all-time low. Like, when I heard that, I was embarrassed. I was like, he cannot say that. So I rewatched it, and he said it. Like, we were playing for a point, and I couldn't believe it. Like, how far have we fallen after those 9 years that a coach comes out and saying we were playing for 1 point away to Sassuolo, 11 against 11. It was not that we were playing with 10 men or 9 men. It was 11 against 11. I get the injuries, but that was an all-time low for me. When the coach comes out and says we're playing for a point away to Sassuolo, when we needed to win, like that's actually unacceptable. And I think a lot of people are not all, but I saw people saying, "Oh, it's just a quote." It's more than a quote this way. Like normally, let me see. Normally, I agree with I agree. It's quotes. Don't take everything seriously, but that will stick with me for a long time. Saying we were playing away from home or at home, I don't care, against a Sassuolo for a point. When you need to win, it's actually ridiculous. It's my opinion. Let me see. Crazy Ray saying, we are more organized at the back than Real Madrid. Midfield and forwards are not a discussion. Yeah, but like... thanks, Ryan. Martin is saying Juve needs a wing player, not Di Maria. Not Di Maria like Gabriel Jesus. So Di Maria, if you need a wing player. I don't know. I'm saying that 2 of the worst players on the pitch scored yesterday. Yeah, that's basically us. I was saying, I hear people saying Fratesi impressed them and he's a baller. I don't care what he did yesterday. Fratesi isn't a Juve level player. Raspadori is either. He's a gamble. I was watching that game and I was like, they are asking 30 mil for Fratesi, 30 mil for Raspadori, 40 mil for Scamacca. Watching that game, I'm like, they're geniuses because they asked that money and we, Inter, we paid that money. We are actually like, yeah, we do it. It's not Sassuolo's fault that they're setting the price out that high. It's us, like the club, Juve, all those clubs, it's their fault. Like, they need to say, no, keep him. We will go abroad and we will bring in someone else for that money or a little bit more money, but we know he's a much better player. Like, Sassuolo can set the price. It's not because they set a price, you need to pay it. As a club, you should have plan B, C, D, E, I don't care. But, like, I was watching that game yesterday and I agree. I think Fratesi and Raspadori played well. But when I was watching Fratesi, I'm like, that's not 30 mil or plus. That isn't. It's not even close. Like, if that's 30 mil, then don't waste your money. Just keep Rabiot, like, keep those players in the squad until the end of the next summer and go then. If you're actually that desperate to waste 30 mil on Fratesi and all those players, like, stop doing it. Like, actually stop doing it. Like, Zakaria, that's a prime example. Again, it's a smart deal. He was free, blah, blah, blah. But, like, look at Zakaria. We got him for free, basically. Is he better than a Fratesi? I don't think so. But it's very cheap. Like, abroad, it's like the Premier League. Grealish, 100 mil. Declan Rice, 100 mil. Yeah, they're good players. But they're not worth that money. But if City say we pay that, they get the money. But it's the same with us. Sassuolo say 30 mil. And the club is like, okay, we will pay it. But it's not worth 30 mil. Like, sometimes I think the list of the club is just Fratesi and that's it. That's it. And they will pay what needs to be paid to just get Fratesi. That's sometimes the vibe I'm getting from the club. So it's a weird one. I don't blame Sassuolo at all. I don't blame him. Anina saying Fratesi and Raspadori, and those names aren't going to take us to the next level. I agree, but what is the next level? I think we need to ask ourselves that. Like, the next level is being dominant again in Serie A. The next level is not competing in Europe, because that's 2-3 levels away from what we are now at the moment, where we are standing at the moment. Like, the next step is winning the title again in Serie A. The following step is re-winning it, and I think step 3 is competing in Europe again. Like, we cannot skip steps because we don't have that financial power. Like, that's the reality. Like, we need 10 new players, including like starters and bench players, to actually somehow compete again in Europe, in my opinion. So the next step should be fighting for the title again. That's our current situation. I don't think we're going from this season, next season, even if you bring in 3-4 players, we're not going from scraping top 4 to competing in the semi-final of the Champions League. I think that's impossible. So I agree with Hani, but you also need to be realistic with what is the next step. You know, if you bring in Chile, I'm just saying names now, Nudogi, Savic, Di Maria, and a Raspadori, that's fine, because you're not going to get an Anthony and a Savic. Like, that's not going to happen. So that's different. But if you are going to bring in Jorginho, Romagnoli, Raspadori, that's sad and that's embarrassing. Like, then I agree. Like, that's not going to improve the level at all. Not even in Serie A, in my opinion. So it's how you see things. Graham is saying, remember, we don't have Loka, Chiesa, McKennie, etc. Vlahovic will get good service next season. Yeah, but even when we got those players at the start of the season, it wasn't well. Like, it wasn't great. Should I say my friends are Man U fans and all call Juve Finnish? Well, that's ironic, I would say. I think that's why he got mad at Dusan. Dusan was looking to go forward and score again while Allegri was playing for a draw. This one goal reveals a lot about Allegri. Yeah, it's no shocker. Mr. Dijk saying, what happened to Di Maria? I heard his agent denied the rumors. It's Mirko Di Natale who said, basically, close from his entourage, they're saying no, there's no talks or agreement offer. Like, I don't think that's news, in my opinion. Like, why would his entourage say, yeah, we're talking with Di Maria, with Juve? Like, they can deny it, and that's what Mirko said in the comments. Like, it's a standard thing. Like, people see the thing and they go with it completely. They don't actually think about it a bit. Like, they shouldn't be confirming anything. Like, it's May. This weekend, it's the 1st of May. So why should they confirm things? Or they're just going to deny it, you know? That's what you usually get with entourages most of the time. So I'm going with the news that's out there, and we actually offered him a deal. Let's see if he's going to accept or not. Or if we are going to say, no, forget about it at the end of the day. Norby saying, in England, English players have a crazy price. McIver, Ben White. Yeah, it's the same for Italy. It's a Premier League. It's more prestige. There's more money, so the price is. Like, if Locatelli was an English player, it would have been 60. That's it. You know, that's why Maguire, Ben White is 80, 50. It's the same for Italy. Only the prices are a bit lower, but still crazy most of the time. You know. Someone saying 30 is nothing for Raspadori. It is when we need so much. It is when we need a winger, a midfielder, a center back for Chiellini, and a left back. Then 30 mil is a lot for a player who's not fully developed and who's not going to start. That's the main thing. He's not going to start. So you're spending basically 30 million euro on a bench player, because he cannot play. He cannot play on that wing. He can. So in that context, I think it is a lot of money. So yeah, that was basically today's news. Before we went live, or before during the Real Madrid game, Mirko Di Natale tweeted saying that we are actually looking again at Doku from Rennes, the Belgian winger. He is a very interesting player, but he's so injury prone. I think Rennes bought him from Anderlecht for close to 30 mil. So that's when so 30 mil is the going rate, 30 plus. And with his injury record, like, he didn't really kick up at Rennes because of that injury record. Like, you can look at his stats, his performances. He's been sidelined a lot of the time. So very interesting player, but he's not what we need. We need a winger who's coming in and who can actually play from the get-go, who's fit and who can help us out. Like, we cannot afford to bring in a winger who is injury prone, with Chiesa also being out probably until the World Cup, you know. Maybe a few games before the World Cup he will play. So you cannot do that. So I'm not excited about the Doku links at all. Though Juve player saying it's deeply depressing how far Italian football have fallen behind after watching City Madrid. Yeah, and we know that, you know. But yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, unless you do smart deals now. And 30 mil for Fratesi is not a smart deal in my opinion. Or bringing in Palmieri or Alonso, those are stupid deals. Like Romagnoli, all those names are stupid deals. Like, if you do keep making those type of deals, or planning to make those type of deals, you'll be far away from City, Real Madrid for a very, very long time. You know, it's not going to be a few years. It's going to be decades, in my opinion, if you keep making those stupid decisions. It is what it is. Crazy Ray saying, the more I think about it, we don't need another box-to-box. I prefer an actual regista like De Jong or Tchouaméni. That's the next question I want to ask everybody in the chat. I cannot make a poll now, but let me know. Like, everybody in the chat, please like the video, first of all. But secondly, we need a midfielder. I think that's... everybody is agreeing on that. So on the main account, we tweeted out, because the names are Pogba, Savic, De Jong. Different players, but those are the names circulating at the moment. Like, it's possible we get none of them, like, by the way. Like, it's very likely we're getting none of those three. But those are the three big names going around. So I'll ask the chat, let me know who of the three, Pogba, Savic, or De Jong, who you want at the club, because there is a difference. Like, if you want a regista type player, you get De Jong. If you want a more attacking midfielder or someone who can get you goals, assists, you get Savic, Pogba. So it's what you want, you know. I've always said, like, De Jong is a fantastic player, but I'm not the biggest fan of De Jong. And also, if we get De Jong, I don't believe a lot is going to change on midfield in terms of we're going to score goals, we're going to dominate midfield. I don't think we're going to do it. I don't believe it with Allegri and the way De Jong plays. I want a player in midfield who's going to get us goals, assists on a consistent basis, who can move up that pitch. And I know, we have Zakaria and McKennie kind of doing it, but, like, there's levels to it, you know. There's levels between McKennie, Zakaria, Savic, and all those players. So it's really what you prefer. Like Crazy Racing, I prefer De Jong. Like, it's a preference. That means you're going to play De Jong. It's going to be Locatelli and Zakaria. That's going to be your midfield three. Are you happy with that? You know, some will say no. Onolifong saying Savic, De Jong, Pogba in that order. Like, it's preference. Julian is saying I want Savic. So it's not set in stone that everybody wants Savic or everybody wants De Jong, you know, or everybody wants Pogba. It's not even set in stone we will get one of the three, by the way. But it's preference. Like, if you want a regista, then yeah, you need to go for De Jong if he's available, if you can pay him. If you don't want that, if you want more of an attacking midfielder, a different type, complete different player than De Jong, then you go for Savic, you know, where there's competition. But even for De Jong, there's competition, like for all these players, because they're top players. So that's why I'm very skeptical about we are actually getting one of those three. That's the reality. The Juve Pierre is saying De Jong has been a big disappointment for Barca. I don't really agree with that. I think the expectations were very high. People say it's basically the same as the league. That like people who don't watch Juve a lot will say, well, probably a lot of people are saying about De Jong in terms of he didn't really kick on. Playing at Ajax was definitely Barca was a complete mess ever since he joined. Like kind of the same with us, but I think a bit worse, in my opinion, in terms of how everything collapsed with Messi and all those things. So it's not easy. It's not easy making that transition and coming into a situation where nothing is perfect. Compared to Ajax, where everything was perfect, but I still think he's a good player. He's not one of my favorites. I've said it many times, by the way. Crazy Ray saying a midfield of De Jong, Locatelli, and Zakaria will be solid. It would, but yeah. Everybody's saying no Pogba. I think nobody wants Pogba at the moment. As saying we need goals. If you get De Jong, we will not score anything. Hanina saying we shouldn't settle for anyone other than Savic. Like we didn't settle for anyone other than Vlahovic. We need goals and assists. That's not De Jong. Pogba is in the conversation for me. Fitness. Like it's preference. I do think we need goals and assists from midfield, and that's not De Jong. That's not Zakaria. That's not Locatelli. That's not McKennie. I think that like Allegri wants a Regista. I get it, but we lack actually goals and all those things. Physicality also at times. I'm like, even with the players we have, I'm like, this is sad to watch at times, So it's about preference at the end of the day. Our preference, but also the club's and Allegri's. What does he want? If he wants a Regista, then yeah, you should go for De Jong if it's possible. If you want something else, then yeah, Savic is the way to go. So it's all up in the air at the moment. Youssef is saying Pogba so we can spend cash somewhere else, get Pogba, buy Raspadori, Di Maria, maybe Gabriel. Let's see. Crazy Racing Chomini will be a similar price tag to De Jong. I don't think that. I don't know. People are saying Barca letting go of De Jong for 50 mil. I don't think that. Also because the competition will be high, the price will go up for that reason alone. Anina saying Savic won Juve. He even liked an Instagram post today. Yeah, I saw everybody retweeting that, but like, I'm not going with that as a clue of him wanting Juve. I think we all know he wants Juve. That's no mystery at the moment. Mr. Dax is saying, will you get Pjanic for a year? No chance. And then, do you really think we can spend 70 mil for Savic? Probably, yeah. But we need, like, that's the issue. We need so much. And that's why I think a lot of people will be disappointed at the end of the transfer season in the summer. Because we will get a midfielder and maybe a winger, but we will get a crap center back and like a backup striker where you're thinking about what the hell did we just do here, or a crap left back like Marcos Alonso Palmieri, just because we need so much. And yeah, there's only so much money. So Anina saying De Jong will also cost 70 mil. In my opinion, I agree. I think it will be something like that, like 65 at least, 70. Yeah, I was saying if I had my dream window, I would bring in Savic, Jorginho, Jesus, Wijnaldum, Di Maria, and Chile in January or next season. I will try to bring in Zaniolo and Donnarumma. Yeah, that's indeed the definition of a dream window. Raven is saying Lotito will say 60 to 70 mil for Savic, for Manu or PSG, and 100 mil for Juve. Most likely. And on Olifant is saying pressure on Allegri will be so huge next season. I agree. Like the pressure will be big time, because after the season we have, probably will get back in the summer. Like the pressure will be on from everyone. Like even the most optimistic Allegri fans I like Allegri, but like I'm not an idiot. Like I can see what's happening, and even if last season it get worse with better players, then yeah, you need to draw your conclusions. And the club needs to draw his conclusions, because at the end of the day, they are the guys who can make things happen or make things not happen in terms of keeping in a job or sack another coach and move on. That's up to the club at the end of the day. Let's see how we will get back in the summer or what we will do, because he will have some input, and you will see that like with players like Arthur leaving, the Shido staying, like you will see like the type of players we'll go for. You will clearly see this summer if he gets a lot of input or just basic input. If we go for Jorginho, those type of players, Allegri has a lot of input. That's it. Giuseppe saying, hope you feel better soon. Big props for coming onto the channel where you aren't feeling your best. Yeah, thanks. It's okay. It's not going to be a long one. I think I will wrap it up in about 10 minutes. Because I think tomorrow is again me alone. Thursday is a day off. Thursday is no day off. Friday is a day off because recording a podcast. Saturday we will be back for a preview. But thanks. Hanina saying, Savic, Rome, Milenkovic, and Maria, how realistic is that? I tried lowering the cost while keeping quality. I will still be shocked. Like it should be, it sounds realistic, but I still will be shocked if you get Savic. If we beat Man U, PSG, and we actually spend 70 plus mil for Savic, and Lotito will sell to us, I will be absolutely shocked without selling anyone. But Savic, 70, Rome, I don't know how much he's valued at Rome. Probably will be around 30, between 20 and 30. Di Maria will be free. Milenkovic is about 15, if the clause fee is that has been reported is correct. So it sounds realistic. But let's see. You also need to think about the players we are trying to sell. Like, can we actually sell them? Will we get the money for them? All those things need to be taken into consideration at the end of the day. So like saying, I just realized there is a Bianconeri's on Instagram account. Do you own everyone Bianconeri's accounts? Yeah. Good that you just found that out. It's usually on the bottom ticker when Justin does the daily video. So yeah, we also have a Facebook account. If anyone is on Facebook, you can also follow us on Facebook. But we do have an Instagram account. I saw on Olifan's thing. I still think they will sell McKennie and keep Rabiot. If we do that, it's just because you will get more money from McKennie, and you probably will get more offers from McKennie. That's the only reason. Because if the club had the option, I think they will keep McKennie. Let's see. I'm saying, can non-members come live on the channel? They can in the future, but for now it's just the members, because it's not easy to set up, most of the time. So the members have the priority because they support, like everybody supports the channel by watch, but the members do something extra, so they could come on before anyone else. But we're working on something else for the summer, where other people can come on the live stream during the transfer window. But if you want to come on sooner and more regularly, just become a member. Peter saying, we're not getting Savic, we won't splash the cash on him. The players that are coming into the midfield are Frattesi and Jorginho. This isn't a big signing on the midfield if you don't mean Jorginho. Yeah, let's see. Like at the moment, we're just kind of panicking, because we know what we need, and then you hear rumors about Man U spending that money, PSG spending that money, and then you get a bit depressed in terms of we don't have that money, or we maybe cannot spend that money, and that makes you think, and then you get a bit, how do you want to say that? You get a bit crazy, and you start to think about, we're getting Jorginho and Frattesi, and we are getting Zaniolo on the wing for 15 mil, and that's it. We need to stay calm. It's only May on Sunday, still 5 games to go. I think at the end of May, more things will be clear. you know. But for now, these are the rumors. Raven is saying, let's hope Wales will go to the World Cup, so Ramsey will accept some offers so he can play and be ready for his last cup. Let's hope. Because that's also an issue. We need to get rid of Ramsey because Rangers are not going to buy him. So yeah. Ryan saying Keane will leave Juve in the summer, Sky Sports. Yeah, I'm not sure if he will leave, but I think the club is actively trying to move him on again, you know. I honestly can't see a big window. What's realistic window and super window for us? Yeah, super is Anthony, Savic. Like, you spend on all positions big. That's super. Realistic is need to give something. Like, something needs to give. And that with that, I mean free agents, not a big center back or an excited center back or an excited left back, and spend big on only one position. I think that's realistic, I would say. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up because my voice is going away, as you can hear. Excuse me. So thanks everybody for watching. Like the video if you haven't liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. We will be back live tomorrow. There will be a daily tomorrow. Let's hope there will be some more positive news tomorrow. So no depressing news. It wasn't really depressing news today, but like not what we really wanted to hear, I think. Especially after that result yesterday. We won, but like again, a very meh game. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you stay tuned for every video we're gonna drop, because we're gonna do some complete new stuff towards the end of the month, during the transfer season, especially next season. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you back tomorrow.